Danish intelligence have said that in 2019, a Russian disinformation campaign was used to entice Trump to buy Greenland, thinking he was talking to a Greenlandic diplomat. It's very interesting. Let's talk about it. What does it mean? And what does this mean for NATO? What does this mean for the Scandinavian countries, for Greenland, and for the rest of the good free world? So the Russians have been meddling with Danish and Greenland's foreign affairs. They've let themselves out to be Greenland's former foreign minister, Anne Lone Bagger, and sent letters to Trump asking him to buy Greenland, basically. And this is absolutely insane when you think about it. This basically just confirms what everybody has been thinking, that has Russia just been doing stuff all along? I mean, if you could talk about the Havana syndrome, which has been going on for years, if you don't know about it, look it up. It's crazy. TLDR is Russia built like a microwave weapon that they can use through doors, and they targeted US CIA operatives in foreign countries. It's insane. But it basically just confirms that Russia has been doing this crazy hybrid war for years now. And if we take a look at this video here that just came out in the light of this news from the Danish intelligence, we get a video here from ordinary Russian babushkas, and I'm just going to read it loud here. So, the people of Denmark, where are you looking? Right before your eyes, your government has already brought your homeland into NATO. Yeah, thank you for that. I mean, NATO has served as well. But anyways, your only salvation is to turn to Russia. It is the light in the world. Bro, that is the biggest cope I've ever heard. But our Vladimir Vladimirovich Putin is building a multipolar world, unlike the USA, which is turning the entire globe into its colony. It's at least trying to. I mean, she's got a point there. I mean, does this mean you want us to become friends with Russia? I think I'll stick with the US. I think everybody wants to stick with the US. Nobody wants to be friends with Russia. Only North Korea, basically. And then we got this other babushka here. I think Vladimir Putin is a very kind person, and he helps everybody out. Yes. I just became a little bit Russian there. Of course, I mean, yeah, he's helping everybody out. He stole your pension. He made the inflation rates go absolutely insane, and he's killing your sons. Vladimir Putin is the president of the world. He helps all countries, and he will help you too, Danes. Man, you look a little bit sus. I wouldn't trust anything coming out of this mouth, like these glasses, bro. Danes, Vladimir, why do you gotta say it like that, please? Is one of the strongest leaders, and only he can help you. Well, thank you for that. So basically, these people just, they want us to repent before Putin and ask him to help you save Greenland and Denmark. So these women here think, the ordinary people of Russia think that we should turn to Putin. And it all, you know, you get some thoughts in your head now. When you first heard about this happening in 2019 with the fake foreign minister, you begin to wonder, is this really what Putin wants? Does he want to make Trump and America, look to be the bad person? Is Russia gonna hop into NATO and take the seat? I don't know. We're gonna look at the Russian media monitor here. This is a great channel run by Juliet Davis, I believe. She sits through, or her team sits through this whole show every single day, and we got Andrei Gurulyov, that's a hard one to say. And he's basically part of the State Duma, and he's going to talk about Greenland and Denmark. It's all coming out at the same time here. This is basically Russia's main channel. It's not the main channel, Россия 1. It's like an extra propaganda channel. It's run by the government. But let's take a look here. We should recognize that basically the war in the Arctic has started. That's what he's saying. And with Trump announcing his aspirations for Greenland, why don't we look at Greenland as well? This guy speaks really slow. Do we need Greenland? Well, that's a good question. This is not a joke. We certainly need it. If Trump Jr. was able to buy someone for a bowl of slop, referring to how Trump Jr. wanted to buy people's, love, I guess. Why don't we show up with a few boxes of Xerox, fill to the brim, and close the issue once and for all? If all else fails, we can make a deal with Trump and split up Greenland. There you have it. The Russians want to split Greenland with Trump. If they don't want to become the new big brother of the free world, no, they want to split it with Trump. Is he insinuating that Trump and Putin should become part of this multipolar world where we have two dictators? I don't know. This is very interesting. Remember, everything coming out of Russia is basically brain farts. It's stupid. And these guys on this show are some of the funniest guys if you think about how sad their situation is. I mean, Russia's situation is not good. Bruh. Because Ukraine is absolutely smashing them right now. Ukraine just launched their biggest ever drone and missile strike into Russia. It's about 1,000 kilometers in, striking two very important places in Russia. So Ukraine has attacked the same region twice this week, and they reportedly attacked oil depots, and some of this oil was apparently tied to an airbase that serves for Russian nuclear planes. It caused a huge fire that took 5 days to put out, and now they've hit it again, so it's probably going to burn for 5 more days. So Russia is under pressure right now, and obviously they're going to try to pull every type of cope there is in the handbook, and that's Russia's whole thing. They think they're amazing, they think they're so strong and big, but they couldn't take Ukraine if they wanted to. So how could they ever hope to split Greenland with the US if the US ever acquired Greenland? This is just the biggest cope I've ever seen. It's just like these Russian babushkas from before. And this is something that I found out while editing this video, hence why you're going to get this commentary style. There's been leaked information to the press here in Denmark that there's going to be a massive defense increase around Greenland. There's going to be an airbase hosting F-35s, and there's going to be much more naval patrols and stuff like that. So it seems like the Danish government is really under pressure right now, and most of the headlines here in the country are concerning Donald Trump and Greenland. It's definitely tightening up right now. Stuff is happening, and there's been a meeting between Trump and the Danish Prime Minister Mette Frederiksen, and it ended in 45 minutes, and they are not done talking. So you can expect a video on that very soon. But yeah, let's continue on with this Russian shenanigans. So along with all this Greenland, Panama, Canada stuff happening and Trump, there's also all the hybrid warfare going on in the Baltic Sea. We have very many Russian ships cutting cables, as well as Chinese ships now. And it is kind of frustrating. As a citizen who lives here, I find it weird that we haven't heard anything from the Danish, Swedish, or the Finnish or Baltic governments. So finally, they do something, at least here in the Baltics, and there needs to be something done, because this is infrastructure, this is internet, this is everything that we rely on in a modern world, and people and businesses will take hits from this if we have more of these cables cut. This is hybrid warfare, and it's what you do in the modern warfare setting. Luckily, the Danish Prime Minister has been out saying that we should recognize we are not in peacetime anymore. She actually echoed the opinion of Swedish Prime Minister Ulf Kristersson, who said we're not at war, which we are not in these countries, Scandinavia, the rest of Europe. If you can hear my cat eating, sorry about that. But we are no longer in peacetime either. We're not at war, but we're not in peace either. And Danish Prime Minister came out and said that we just can't recognize peacetime anymore. And this is a big thing. A lot of the European governments have not been wanting to openly say the word war. And they're not saying it here either, so they're staying ambiguous. But only really France and the Baltics and the countries that border Russia have been, open about their concerns. And now the Scandinavian countries, especially Denmark, is concerned because of all the stuff that's happening. So to answer to all this, NATO launches Baltic Sentry, a new mission to patrol and protect the Baltic undersea cables. So NATO's General Secretary Mark Rutte said that they would increase their security and their protection of the Baltic Sea cables by boarding more suspect vessels and showing a general bigger presence around the Baltics. This is going to mean more NATO ships, more patrols, and in general, just more eyes on the Baltic. I think this jig is up now. I don't think Russia and China can cut more cables by dragging their anchors anymore on these civilian vessels, and they would now need more military matters to do this. Think small 1 to 2 man submarines, maybe even remotely controlled, underwater vehicles, drones. I don't know if that's possible. Probably is. I mean, ROVs, that's what they're called. So why would Russia do all this? Well, there are a couple reasons. I've found three here. Reason one is to sow dispute in the NATO alliance, basically, making it easier for Russia to have influence on Europe's matters in future. If the US leaves NATO under Trump's leadership, there's a high likelihood that NATO will have a very, very weak time if it doesn't get together under a more European-minded defense pact. It's an interesting time, and reason one definitely makes sense just to sow dispute and make Russia and the US closer, perhaps. Reason two is justifying the invasion of Ukraine in Putin's head. If he made Trump have aspirations of imperialism by taking Greenland and Panama and Canada, and even making these claims publicly, it gives Putin justification for what he's done. And the third reason is, like we saw the goons on Russia 1, the TV channel, talk about, we see that if Greenland is under the US, Putin would hope for better relations and maybe trading relations on the new Arctic routes. They talk about splitting Greenland. Like I said, I don't think that's going to happen. Just try to do anything with the US. And I mean, if you look at Trump, he is just as hungry for power and influence as Putin is. And I want to say something right now. What is happening at the moment in current geopolitics and relations, it's crazy. But I think you have to remember one thing, that Trump is very good at talking, and he's extremely good at making things happen. If you think about this, this is all a very, very good way to make Europe spend more on defense. And I definitely think we're going to see more support for Ukraine as well, because everybody's taking it more serious now. So either way you look at it, Trump's rhetoric has made some changes, but it's also absolutely crazy what is coming out of that man's mouth. There's so much happening around the world right now, and I think it's scary to look at, to be honest. It's why I'm making these videos, because I want to inform people about what's going on, and I don't think there's enough perspectives from Scandinavia and Europe in general. Just, we live in the Baltic Sea, so this is some stuff that happens around here. Greenland is also Danish, and either way, I don't think people should talk about their allies like this. I think it's a dangerous and disrespectful thing to do when you consider the years and years of, partnership that we have in NATO. So I hope this stuff ends. But if you guys enjoyed this video, drop a like, subscribe. My channel is very new. I didn't think I was going to make this instead of my originally planned video idea, but that is still going to be coming out. So I hope you guys will have a great day. My name is Bravo Sulabob, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one.